You ever said to yourself that this is just a fun little hobby right after spending maybe £100 on really shiny cardboard, and then thought, oh, maybe I've got loads of stuff stashed all over the house, and then like, what am I kind of doing? Let's be honest though, we've kind of all been there. You get that mix of excitement, guilt, and second guessing. And today, this is the kind of thing that we're going to be talking about. We all know that Pokemon cards should be fun, or the collecting side of Pokemon should be fun anyway. But sometimes for a lot of us, a kind of pressure creeps in. We'll get that FOMO. We'll feel like we need to be keeping up all the time. And for a lot of us, you just can't, no matter how hard you try. Some of us are like chasing too hard, and we're really kind of forgetting what made it fun in the first place, and that's the kind of thing that we need to try and get back to. You start to get a bit guilty, you maybe start to get feel like a little bit overwhelmed, and you start getting those second thoughts creeping in, like, why am I actually doing this? I shouldn't really be doing this still. Should I start collecting something else? Is this the kind of thing that's for me? Am I spending too much money? Can I actually afford it? And then it goes around and around and around and around and around. And yeah, you can't keep up with it sometimes. So in this video, what we're going to do is talk about 7 steps or 7 different ways that we can talk about that will help reduce that stress, that sense of overwhelming, will help us enjoy collecting again, all without the guilt of spending too much money and losing track of where you are. I'm going to be a little bit honest here. This is probably one of these videos where you can kind of sit back, chill. Sometimes I like to do things where maybe when I'm cleaning the house, I've got a YouTube video on and I'm doing those kind of things, or you're driving the car to work and you're listening to that video. That's the kind of video that this is going to be, that I think you can kind of watch at the same time while you're doing other stuff, and it's something that you can just like leave on and let play and just listen to and be really chilled with. So why don't we think about why a hobby gets stressful? So let's all go back to the start. You've bought a pack, you get something good, then you think, oh, I'll get a slab, and then you think, oh, I'll get a box, and then you think, right, I'm going to start collecting this set, and then that set, and this set, and then suddenly trying to keep up with all these sets, it starts to feel a little bit more like a part-time job, potentially, but a part-time job that drains all of your money. Yep, we've been there sometimes. And at that point, it starts to become something that is less enjoyable. When in reality, collecting Pokemon cards should always be enjoyable. And this is the point where you've realised that you've lost the reason as to why you started in the first place, and you need to go back to that reason. Let's start thinking about it a little bit. If that does sound familiar, you definitely aren't alone. And the good news is that there are definitely ways to make it a little bit more manageable. So here are the 7 steps. Instead of after every purchase, like thinking, oh, I've spent too much money on this, and feeling guilty about it, try thinking, you know what, I'm actually building something that is trying to bring me joy. Yes, don't spend too much money on it, but think about why you're buying it. What's the reason for? You need that reason to help you think why you find this enjoyable. I'm not just saying just go out there and spend a load of money. You need to be mindful about what you are spending and give yourself that goal about how much money you want to be spending at that specific time, and really think about what you can afford. You know what, if you are worrying too much about the money at the time, like maybe it is the best option just to roll it back ever so slightly. You know what, one of the things that I fall into is thinking, oh, if I buy this card now, it's going to appreciate in value, but I may not need the money in the future, but I might need it a little bit more now. So yes, if you're trying to justify it to yourself, thinking, yeah, I'm going to get loads of value out of this card, but if you never sell it, then what's the point of buying it in the first place if you're buying it for the value of the card? Just focus on why you're collecting in the first place, and think about, that it's not giving you stress rather than having to focus on the money. I feel like a lot of people become more stressed on things because they're spending the money and they're thinking about the money side of the Pokemon cards too much. Even fun hobbies need boundaries. You need to know your limits. because if you're spending too much, you really can get yourself in a world of trouble, and there are people that have from Pokemon cards. So just set yourself those boundaries and rein it in slightly, because nobody wants that, you don't want that, nobody else wants it. So one thing you can do is set a monthly spending limit. So think about how much you earn and what you can spend that month. Maybe you could do it weekly, maybe you could do it monthly, maybe you could do it yearly, but that's quite a big gap to have if you're doing it yearly. And treat it maybe a little bit like any other subscription service. Like, I am spending £50 on Pokemon cards this month, this is what I've got, can't go over it. Kind of like you spend certain amount on Netflix or Disney Plus or any other subscription service that you buy at that time. Pokemon itself can't come before your major responsibilities. If you've got a mortgage or rent payments or bills to pay, make sure they're the things that get paid first, because they are the really important things. Pokemon is just a hobby. Don't let other things get sidetracked. Pay those bills, pay that mortgage, pay that rent, make sure it's sorted, because you can't pay those things with Pokemon cards. Your Pokemon cards may be of value, but you can't use them as currency for other things. If you're bad with money, really cement that fact. Make sure other things are paid for before you're starting to spend more money on Pokemon cards. Really think about it at the time. Try not to do it. I know it's so tempting. You see that Umbreon, but you may spend your full monthly allowance or your full salary that you get paid monthly on that. Let's think of a card, the Umbreon card, or the two Umbreon cards, the Moonbreon and then the Sunbreon. Pretty much anything, to be honest, you could spend that amount of money on. There are a lot of cards to choose from. Just don't do it before you have paid for the things that you need to do. Set aside money each month. Like what I've said, you could set that £50 out, and you know that it's that money is exactly for your Pokemon cards. It's for nothing else. You know you've got that exact amount of money to spend. You don't have to worry about spending anything else. Or there is other things. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but you can save £5 a day. I know you can do it. You spend sometimes probably more money than that on other things. That is something that I do. I save £5 a day and put it into a different account. And to be honest, it's actually racked up quite a lot over the last year, because I've not missed a day at all. And you don't think that it's going to make too much for a den or give you too much in the end, but once it all adds up, it really does add up. And I've never really saved that way, and to be honest, it is good advice and it does work. So here's a little example. You know, when you're in the house and you're like, oh, this place is like way too messy and I really need to clean up to kind of be productive. And I do this like all the time. Like, I'll be in the house and just thinking, I cannot do anything right now because I kind of think in this clutter, the clutter is like too annoying and I need to be organized. And to be honest, I don't need to be like super duper clean. I just need to have a little bit of semblance of organization. I just don't like things to be super messy. Even if I'm kind of cleanly chaos. Things will kind of be all over the place, but I like know where everything is, you know? Like, I'm that guy that'll have that clipboard under the drawer, under the computer table, on the left side of my room, but I'll know where that thing is, and everyone else will be like, that's a little bit chaotic, but I want to just know that it's there, and when people start moving things, that's not really what I like. But you could do the same thing with your Pokemon cards. Like, take stock of what you've got, organize it, put your different cards together, so like you could have this set here, that set there, those packs there, these ETBs here, these booster bundles here, these special cards can go over there. You know, you just really like take stock of what you've got and where you have everything. Because some people have like absolute inordinate amounts of stuff that they probably don't need, and to be honest, some things that they've probably even like forgotten about, you know. Like, just make sure you know where everything is, and you might be surprised about the things that you actually find, and it might give you a clearer head about what you've got. And you could even think, oh, while I'm doing this, there are some things that I've not seen in a while. Why isn't this something I could get rid of rather than keeping? Because if you've not really seen it, honest, some people have like absolute metric tons of clothes. They never wear them anymore. So just think like, if I've got these clothes and I'm not using them, what's the point of having them? And they could benefit someone else, and they could benefit me by selling them off as well. And it helps you with getting a little bit more money, and you also get a little bit more storage space. So it's kind of a win-win for the person that's taking it and you who's getting it back. I think that's quite a good idea, personally. And you also get that little bit of sense of pride and sense of achievement from like cleaning up after yourself, which is just quite nice in the long run as well, and in the short term. Because I always feel like, when you're a kid and you're like, look at me, mum, dad, I've cleaned my room, it's class, and I'm like, new room, new me. and yeah, it does help for half an hour, but that does benefit you. It is good for you. It is something that needs to be done, so just do it every so often. The next one is like, instead of just buying a load of random packs because that's what's hot on the market today, like, I've really realized that Pokemon fans get massive FOMO. Like, Destined Rivals is coming out soon, Black Flare and White Flare and Black Bolt are coming out soon, and everyone's like pre-ordering them, and everyone's desperate for them. And Journey Together came out, all of that like tanked a little bit, and I kind of thought it would anyway, because the cards were, yes, good, but there wasn't anything like majorly popular personally for me. Like, so instead of doing that, try and build towards something. A lot of people collect those sets, or a lot of people are collecting, let's say, certain numbered slabs, like collecting 10s or collecting 9s or collecting 8s, and there are those people that collect 1s. They're a rare breed, but they're a special breed. Keep going for that. You are special people. Please do it, because it looks quite cool when you've got a 1 collection. Some people are collecting like all of the Pikachus or all of the Charizards. I do not recommend it. There are far too many and it's way too expensive. Unless you've got that money, do not do the Charizards. Do not set that goal. But please don't. It is a dangerous path to go down. Go for like all the Caterpies or something. That's a nicer one to do. Maybe. I think there are quite a lot of Caterpies still. Because it's a Gen 1 Pokemon, and a lot of the Gen 1 Pokemon have quite a lot of cards. But worth a shot going for something nice, and Caterpie's cute, isn't it? Make sure that you've got that direction, because having a direction makes things a lot more satisfying and probably a bit easier for you, because you know what things you're collecting, and it makes things a lot more organized and a lot more clear for you. But saying that, opening Pokemon packs can get very, very addicting. So I'm not saying just don't open any Pokemon packs, because we all love opening Pokemon packs, and you get that rush, and it's cool and it's fun, and when you get something great, it's like the best thing ever, because you get something good, and then like you get that sense of, it's mine, it's definitely mine, because it's something that I've pulled myself. But you can spend absolute inordinate amounts of money looking for that card, and you might get it, but you may have spent like way more than what that card is worth in the end. So is it really worth it in the long run to do that? Maybe just set yourself a pack limit, or if we're talking about the last point, thinking about that budget that we set for ourselves, give yourself that budget on packs and cards and what you can like achieve and spend at that time. Because even though you may only open 10 packs, you still might get that good card, so don't worry about it too much. You will get those cards in the end. It's just a numbers game. Just don't have to go crazy with the numbers. Think about keeping track of what you're buying as well. Like, watch what you're buying, like really like log it. Also think about why you're buying it. Are you buying excessively because you're bored? Is it because of the hype? Think about those reasons, and it might help you decide, is this something that you really need to buy at that specific time? So keep that log if you need to, because it'll help you keep track of what you've done and what you've spent, and it really helps you organize your thoughts. You can do this on a spreadsheet, or you can do it like written down, but I personally think doing it on a spreadsheet on a computer is way more easier. And then at that point, it helps you understand the patterns of what you're buying. So like your buying patterns, which helps you in the end stay a lot more in control of what you're spending, because you are just more organized while you're doing it. I have a spreadsheet, and it helps me keep control of what I've bought. So I have like the name of the card, and then I have like what set it's from, and then I have how much I've spent on it, and then how much I have sold it for, if I've sold it, because at this point I haven't really sold too many things at that time, so I am deeply in the red of what I've spent and what I've sold. I think like the last card I sold was like the Ledian from Stellar Crown. I think it was Stellar Crown, maybe Surgeon Sparks, I can't remember. I think it's Surgeon Sparks actually, and that was like a $5, but it's something, and at least I know that I've had that card and I sold that card. It may have gone up, but yeah, whatever, it's been sold. I can't really do anything about it. It's gone. I can buy that card again, I can sell it again, but that specific card that I had is gone, so I'm not going to worry about it anymore. It's gone, and it's nothing that I need to think about. So yep, just set those limits again, and make sure that you're keeping track of what you're actually spending, because that will keep you on track, and you'll know where your budget is, of what you spent, what you haven't spent, and help you organize your thoughts. So some of the best moments in cards don't happen alone. One thing you can do is like join a community, join a Discord, and it really helps you feel that sense of why you're doing this. And you're doing this because other people are doing it as well, and because you enjoy it, they enjoy it. It brings you together, which is a really, really nice thing to have. When things are more social, become a lot more rewarding, and everyone needs that social side of things. And remember, this is a TCG, and try and remember what the T in TCG stands for. It stands for trading, and a lot of people are really, really reluctant to sell, or not sell, but sometimes sell, but reluctant to trade their cards. And yes, they are reluctant to sell their cards, but just think this is one of the main reasons of Pokemon cards, is to sell and enjoy them and let other people enjoy them. And that trading side means you could get something really good as well when you're trading with other people, especially people who are in the community. To be honest, most will be good, and they will give you a good deal if it's something that they want as well. So just make sure you're like, sometimes it's really helpful if you know the people as well. So if you're getting more into that community, you get a lot more trust. And to be honest, the more you know these people, the better deals you get off them, especially vendors. If you're going to these local vendors all the time, or this local card shop, you will get a way better deal. They might even hold stuff back for you, which is a really nice thing to do, and they definitely will. They are really good at that kind of stuff. Like, if someone is a genuine collector, most of the time they will give you like a good deal, and you'll come to a nice agreement, which is always something that's really nice in the Pokemon community. And the last thing is that, to be honest, everything takes time. Like, it's gonna take time and money and effort. You just kind of have to accept that. The more you rush, the harder things are gonna get. Just really take your time with whatever you're collecting and whatever you're doing, because you'll find things a lot easier at that point. Like, you're not wasting anything if it takes a little bit longer. You're just prioritizing your time on things that matter a lot more to you. Because if you're rushing, that is when you panic spend, and you get that FOMO, and you do things wrong, and you start spending money on, I don't know, some box breaks where you may have spent £15 on trying to get that card from a pull of Terrestrial Festival, and then it just doesn't come out, and then you've just spent £15 on nothing. It can get addicting, but just try not to rush into it too much, okay? Things like that can really get expensive, so just, if you take your time with it, things will fall into place, and you will get those things that you want. It just doesn't have to happen straight away. And I feel like some people just don't have the patience for that. You really need to practice doing that kind of thing, because FOMO is real, man. As a last thing, if you are feeling a little bit stressed and overwhelmed by collecting, Remember why it's fun and take a breath. You might be on the edge of giving up, but you don't have to give up. All you really need to do is just recalibrate a little bit and make sure you know where you're at and your goals, and you will get there. So drop a comment and tell me what's been the most overwhelming thing in the hobby for you recently. And if you've liked this video, drop a like and please subscribe to the channel, and there'll be more videos like this on Pokemon, which should help you get through collecting yourself. And doing that will also help other collectors who are struggling find this video, and hopefully if I can help one, I can help more people do this as well. So subscribe for more videos that'll help you collect smarter rather than harder. And also, it's okay to be obsessed with the things that you love. Just make sure that you've got some time for yourself. And there will be some other videos that will come up at some point on the screen, so please check them out as well, because they're also about opening Pokemon and other advice videos as well on what to do on Pokemon. Things like the good and the bad side of Pokemon at the minute, things that we're all stressing about, that people are thinking about in the hobby, may not be stressing about, but you know, you want to be focused on the things that you need to be focused on if you're wanting to enjoy this kind of hobby. So please give them a look, and I will see you in that video.